I don't think there's anything we can do about that. The only way that I think we can handle that is if the teacher had a microphone in their
Good morning. It is time for us to get started today. It is wonderful to have all of you here and all of you online who are joining us. It's great to have you here. Today I wanted to get started by talking a little bit about our teen mission trip that we had just a couple weeks ago. In fact, it was last Saturday night that myself and Connor and Logan Barrett got back from Mountain States Children's Home, where we worked for the week. And so I'm going to show you guys some pictures and just talk about some of the work that we did, because this is a trip that we're hoping to do every other summer with the teens. And this year it was just 3 of us that went, along with the Newburgh Church of Christ, the Eugene Church of Christ, and the Prineville Church of Christ. I'll be honest, the first day of work was pretty awful. We shoveled rocks all day long. Now, the purpose of this was important. Around their gym, they needed a nice grade so that when it rained, and it rains in Colorado quite hard, so that the water would not go towards their foundation but away from their foundation. And so that's what we did the first day, was to protect the foundation of their gym. I'm not going to go in order of what we did, but the next couple days we did things like trimming trees, getting dead branches out of trees, or cutting up scrap metal for them to take to get money for scrap metal. Some of us spent a lot of time on lawnmowers. I want to say one of those days I spent about 8 hours on a riding lawnmower, which sounds like fun unless you've spent more than a couple hours on a riding lawnmower, and then you realize it's not so much fun. We worked on their parking lot behind their offices. Now, this parking lot had a lot of cracks in it. You can see in this picture the black tar, and that's what we were doing, is we were putting black tar on the cracks in the parking lot, which meant first we had to sweep out the cracks before we put the black tar down. And Nick estimates that we gave their parking lot an extra 10 years of use by doing this. And it was a big parking lot. Now, you'll notice we had a pop-up out. Actually, there's 2 pop-ups there, and what you can't see is there's probably 2 more in the back of this parking lot. Because the thing that you don't realize through pictures is just how hot it was. Because there was not a single day that we were there where the temperature, where the high that day was below 94 degrees. It was hot. In fact, I think the day this picture was taken, it got over 100 that day. And so it was quite warm. We then had a fun day where we went to Estes Park. And if you don't know Estes Park, there's a hotel in Estes Park where the book The Shining, the hotel from The Shining, was based off of this hotel. Now, of course, all of us Portlanders know that the hotel used in the movie was Government Camp. But this is the hotel that the movie was based off of. But we had fun in Estes Park. This photo on that side, we went to a mountain coaster in Estes Park that a member of the church there in Estes Park owns. And so they gave us free passes to go ride this mountain coaster, and it was a lot of fun. And then we went to a lake and had a day where we did some kayaking, some paddle boarding, had a lot of fun. The purpose of all the things that we did, though, while we were at the Mountain States Children's Home, essentially what we were gearing up for was a car show. Now, this is a car show that happened on their campus, and it was a fundraiser for them. It's the Coloradans. They have hosted this car show for over 50 years. It used to be in the town of Longmont, and a few years back, the town of Longmont got upset with the car show, and so the car show said, fine, we're not going to do it anymore. So for a year, they didn't have the car show. And after a year, they had people begging for the car show, and at that time, they gave a check for about $1,000, maybe $2,000 to the Mountain States Children's Home as a donation to them after the car show was over with the money they raised. But after a year of not having the car show, they still didn't want to go back into the town of Longmont, and so they asked the Children's Home, hey, can we host the car show on your campus, and we will give you all of the proceeds? And Nick Mears, the executive director of the Children's Home, said that was a no-brainer, and they said, of course. And so Saturday, after all this work, essentially what we were doing was getting the campus ready for this car show. We then got to hang around and see over 250 cars park on this campus. It was so much fun. This car show, the year before, raised $13,000 for the Children's Home. This year, after the car show was done, Nick said that they raised $19,000. It was so cool to be able to be a part of that. Now, these are my two favorite pictures of the trip. Of course, the picture of me and the boys, just so much fun. We had a great time. And let me tell you a little bit about the things that these other churches said about the Bareth boys. Almost every single day, I had leaders from other churches coming up to me and just saying, Steve, these boys you brought are so awesome. They have worked so hard. They have not complained, and their character. You have some amazing boys in your youth group. And I said, I know. I was like, I know. I'm so sad that Connor has now graduated because having these boys in youth group is just so great. The other picture up here is all of the boys who were left Saturday. This is after the car show. It was 100 degrees that day. And we were told to take all of our stuff to a garage. And so we took all the stuff, and we were waiting for Nick to come pick us up, and it was, again, 100 degrees outside. And I went, hey, I know that this garage has a walk-in refrigerator. And so I go in, and I'm in there, and I'm flapping my shirt, as you do when you're trying to cool off because you've been sweating all day. And one boy opened the fridge because they saw me walk in and went, that's weird, and closed the door. And the other boys went, no, that is genius. And so I got a selfie with all of the boys standing in the walk-in fridge. All of this to say, it was a great trip. Our theme verse for the week, and here is our call to worship, was from Romans chapter 12. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual act of worship. We all have a mission. Our mission is to serve God no matter what. Sometimes the work is not fun. Sometimes you feel like you're doing something that is pointless. But when we are here to serve God together, when we make our lives about service to God, even the most awful tasks are meaningful and are fun. And you build community when you serve God together. Let's worship God together this morning.